I'm going to exercise executive privilege here and deviate to a topic that's mentioned in Peter King's Football Morning in America, and that's this whole Jimmy G timeline with the 49ers. And obviously there was that quick eruption of, Jimmy G to the Jets on Friday night when people were concerned about Zach Wilson. But that's what the 49ers are waiting for.
Right.
That season-ending injury somewhere that opens a trade market for Jimmy G. But Peter King talks about, the cut to 53 is coming up in a couple of weeks, and we've tried to break this down. Will they keep him beyond the cut to 53? Will they hold him all the way until just before the start of the regular season? Would they dare to keep him into the regular season in the hopes of being able to trade him eventually? It all depends on how stubborn they are. But, Chris, what caught my eye was something that I missed until I saw it in Peter's column today. The report from Mike Silver, now at the San Francisco Chronicle, that after Jimmy Garoppolo got his big contract in 2018, he basically went AWOL.
What?
Not that, look, in that stage of the offseason, you're not allowed to meet. You're not allowed to have players in the facility unless you're rehabbing injuries. There are very clear rules on what can and can't be done. But I think coaches kind of like the idea of being in communication. It happens. Franchise quarterback, you're all in. It's a 12-month-a-year job. There's no offseason for a franchise quarterback. And apparently there was some dismay that in 2018, after he got his money, he just disappeared until it was time to show up for the offseason program.
Mike, you've heard me allude to this before. I've said this even on Dan Patrick, I believe, a few weeks ago. I even think I said it to Colin Cowherd. This is a thing. This is weird. And this is not Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan, again, we're friends. We don't talk about the 49ers. He didn't tell me this. I know so many people out there in San Francisco. Kyle couldn't keep track of it. I've heard this from players, ex-coaches there. He goes off the radar all the time. All the time. Nobody can get in contact with him. But his first year in offseason there, that's when I was made aware of it. I'm not going to name the player I was at, but I was at an event, and the player, who is a long-standing player with the 49ers, was like, I can't get the quarterback to call me back. I've called him every day for a month. You hear it from everybody. I've heard it from ex-coaches who have moved on and just gone, yeah, it's weird. The organizations tried to reach out to him times and explain things to him, and they can't get a hold of him, to the point where I think they've had to drive to his house and knock on the door and be like, hello, are you alive? Are you there? So, yeah, I think that's why there's the 49er fan base that wants, why are we getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo? I think there's more than just the play on the field at hand here. And, yeah, I think a lot of the NFL knows these stories a little bit. And I think that's why maybe, we've had some teams kind of drag their feet and not sure if they really want to go all in on the Jimmy Garoppolo trade.
Well, and hardly ideal for that to be coming out now because, again, other positions you can get away with it. Quarterback position, it's harder to justify. It's harder to reconcile. And as somebody who is attached to this damn thing 24/7, I can't imagine not getting back to someone. I hear that excuse from time to time from people. Well, it's one thing if you're not in the public eye and in the media and dealing with people all the time. How do you not respond to your text messages? How do you not return phone calls? How do you just ignore people for weeks and months at a time? It doesn't mesh with the life that Jimmy Garoppolo has chosen. If you want to act that way, you're in the wrong line of work. Just like if you're in the media and you're going to act that way, you're in the wrong line of work. That's what's so weird about it. After they've given you, a market-setting contract, $27.5 million a year, and you're just going to disappear on them, that's a tough one. And it makes me wonder why they stuck with him for as long as they did.
Yeah, well, I think there was, the way, if we take ourselves back to that time, right, there was the desperation of we're 0-10. We got to make something happen. They got and traded him. Okay, he gets on the field. The things are all good. It's new. He gives them a little life at the end of that first year with Kyle Shanahan. And they're getting to know him in the process, but, probably don't know him all the way, apparently, to the way, we're hearing about these stories here. But, yeah, this is something that's kind of been percolating through the NFL, and It's funny that it all kind of came out here so publicly as of late. Like I said, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I've alluded to it before, and it was always a little like, man, nobody really seems to care that I just said that. But now, hey, with Michael Silver, Peter King writing about it, there's certainly everybody's going to know about it.
I will say this. Say what you will about Kirk Cousins, but there's never been any suggestion that he ignores the coaching staff for weeks and weeks at a time in the offseason.
Well, like you said, it's odd. It's just odd. Quarterbacks are not wired that way. Quarterbacks are like, wait, my wife's calling? Wait, there's a guy on the team calling too. Be quiet, wife. Let me talk to the team guy. I don't worry about my wife right now. Oh, coach is calling? Let me get on the phone with coach. I mean, you know how John Gruden was calling me in Italy on my honeymoon.
On your honeymoon.
Right.
When are you back? When are you coming back?
Yeah, when are you coming back? Exactly right. So that is very odd. And to think that Tom Brady's and the Peyton Mannings of the world or anybody else that way certainly are always on call that way and ready to discuss football or what it takes for the organization to be better. And it's not usual practice by a quarterback for sure.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.